Hello and welcome to Arcade Classics. In this installment, it is one of the most iconic games of all time. This is Pac-Man. But this is not Pac-Man, in fact. This is the original version of Pac-Man. This game is called Pac-Man. Pac-Man was released in 1980 by Namco and was one of the biggest arcade hits of all time. This game is known by pretty much anyone who knows anything about video games. Even people who know nothing about games, I would say. It is one of the most quintessential, easily recognizable things ever because you are a yellow pizza thing. It's the most iconic thing ever, you know, right? This version of the game is the original release. This is Pac-Man, released in 1980 by Namco. When this game was distributed internationally, it started to garner a little bit of concern from arcade operators that vandals at the time would, come in and, vandalize the cabinet and change the P to an F to call it Fuckman, which is hilarious, but so the idea was to simply change the name, right? But they thought, well, it's the Japanese term paku paku to eat, right? So to keep that intact, what if they just took the C out and just called it Pac-Man, paku paku instead of paku paku? Same basic sound, but same basic idea. So all they did was they removed the C and it became Pac-Man. And so even if that was vandalized, it would be Fac-Man, which it doesn't have quite the same ringtone as Fuck-Man, or that name is just awesome. So anyway, we'll throw in some virtual quarters and play some of this. That is what counted as video game music for the longest time. That was basically all you got. That and that. So Pac-Man is the earliest game, and it's one of the games that really started off the arcade revolution and had video games become this big popular thing. It's a game that was very often cloned by all sorts of companies that would come in and try and do basically Pac-Man again, but on their console. It started the genre called the dot maze game. I'm not playing very well here, but you get the point. The idea here is to eat all of the dots, be a glutton, eat all the stuff. Eat the ghosts too if you can. And once you've eaten all of the dots, the stage is won, and then you go to the next stage. Oops, I died. So there it is, game over already. There are people in the world, though, that are so good at Pac-Man, they can actually get to the end of the game to the point where the game crashes on them and is no longer playable. It is what is called a death screen. And that's because these games were never intended to be played, for hours and hours on end, for be played by someone who is so good at the game they can actually exceed the point where the game's code ends, that there's no more game there to be played. Most games from the early 80s have this, and the reason is because the programmers just never intended for anyone to be able to do this. They didn't even cross their mind that someone would be able to play the game for so long that there would be actually an ending, because you're just supposed to play until you get a game over, which is usually in like a couple of seconds, maybe a couple minutes if you're a really good player. Alright, so I gotta avoid the ghosts. Now apparently there are various patterns to how the ghosts behave. Some of them will behave erratically, and like one of them will chase you around the maze. The other ones will like just follow the other two ghosts, or it's something like that. Oh, I was so screwed. If you can manage to eat all 4 ghosts, you can get 1,600 points. Big deal. Ah, damn it. But unlike future versions of Pac-Man, the maze is always going to be the same thing. Because of its popularity, Pac-Man was ported to, well, everything. Like, I even remember playing this game on the Game Boy, and why this game was on the Game Boy was beyond me, because there were better games like Lock and Chase that you could play on the Game Boy that were completely fantastic. You know, they were basically the same kind of game, but Lock and Chase would be obviously way better than Pac-Man, because it was a game that was built for the Game Boy from the ground up, and this was, you know, came out in 1980. You know, there were barely color games at this point. This was, you know, right at the very start of gaming. But Pac-Man is a great game to play, you know, for a few minutes. It's a game that you're not going to be playing for hours on end unless you're, you know, Billy Mitchell or something. But, you know, if you are, you know, just looking for a really fun arcade game to play for a couple seconds, there's nothing wrong with Pac-Man. There's nothing at all wrong with Pac-Man. Pac-Man is a great choice. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. If you have any questions about this game, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section down below. Also, be sure to hit the like button, because hitting the like button helps support my channel and lets me know that you guys want to see more videos like this. So until next time, take care, guys.